Books have the ability to transport us across time, across cultures, and around the world. But as amazing as it is to travel the world from the comfort of your home, wouldn't it be even more amazing to experience the setting firsthand? Books have taken me many places, and now I'm returning the favor, taking these stories to the places that inspired them. Welcome to Oregon. So this is the start of a little bucket list project that I'm doing where I visit all 50 states and read a book that is set in each state while I'm there. So for Oregon, we have Wild by Cheryl Strayed, and it is a book about a woman who experiences a big loss in her life and through her grieving process decides to hike the entirety of the Pacific Crest Trail, which starts in California and runs all the way up to Washington State. I think there is a map in here. So it's not entirely in Oregon, but a large part of this book does take place in Oregon, so I'm counting it as our book for Oregon. And it's actually really cool because we're in southern Oregon right now and we're pretty close to the Pacific Crest Trail. So I'm looking forward to maybe experiencing some of this atmosphere in real life. I think that's one of the coolest parts of reading is that it just takes you places and it's really cool to be able to bring it to life. Very excited to dig into this book. I think it'll be a pretty quick read. It's already pretty interesting. So I'm gonna read for a little bit and we'll see if we can make a little progress. Okay, so we're about 100 pages in. It's a 300-page book. Really enjoying it so far. I think it's so funny how unprepared she was for the whole journey. Just totally relatable. And it's wild to think that she did this in 1995 before the internet. She bought a guidebook at REI, which she used to guide her whole journey. She had friends send her packages. I think she did a great job of weaving in her past and kind of her motivations while she processes these events on the trail. I know that a lot of people would be de-influenced by how awful this journey sounds, but it actually does make me want to hike. So I think we're going to try to get to the PCD at some point during this trip. That would be super fun to just experience what she saw, even though it's 30 years later, which is so crazy. I'm going to take a little break right now, maybe do a little side quest to find a local bookstore. We'll just see what we get up to. We are about 200 pages into Wild. Incredible. And we're almost to the portion of the trail where she is in Oregon. I've read a lot of reviews of this book, and a lot of the lower star reviews are by people that have done this hike and hate how unprepared that she was. Yes, it is kind of frustrating as a bystander to read about all of this, but at the same time, it's very entertaining. I feel like no one is fully prepared to do a hike like this, like you kind of have to go into it with a blissful ignorance, and she does not over dramatize any detail. It's all very blunt and to the point. Another thing that I have noticed throughout this book is that she is so fortunate to meet the people that she meets. There is no way that she would have made it so far without just help. And I think it just goes to show how good and kind people can be. Okay, we've made some good progress on the book. It's been a very relaxing day. So I think we're gonna try to go find somewhere a little bit more scenic to continue reading. Okay, it's our last full day in Oregon. It's been a blast so far. It's been sunny every day, 0 complaints. But we have about 40 pages left of Wild, and I want to get it done today. So my goal is to finish this morning, and then we'll do a little recap. So we finished Wild, and I have to say, very enjoyable book for me overall. When it comes to the story itself, I think I would generally recommend this as long as you know what you're getting into. It's first and foremost a memoir, so there are a lot of personal details shared. You have to understand this is not a book about hiking. It's not a book about the PCT. She's not an experienced hiker, and she makes a lot of mistakes. To me, that's incredibly relatable, but some of the reviews that I've read have said that that distracted from the story. So I understand both sides of that. The book itself is incredibly well written, and you can tell that she's a really talented writer. I think that it reads like fiction. She has a really clear voice, conveys a good amount of emotion without being over dramatized. There are definitely some more disturbing parts, so if you do plan to read this or you think this sounds interesting, I would look up the content warnings before you start this book. I think that reading it here in Oregon really added to the experience. The story at baseline had a great atmosphere, but being out on the PCT and realizing how isolated it is just gave me another layer of understanding as a reader. So as far as this little 50-stage reading challenge goes, I would consider Oregon a success. So I'm excited to keep going with this little project. We are 1 state down and 49 more to go.